I'm 11 days out from stepping on stage at the Branch Warren Classic here in Houston at the time of filming. Now, I've been using Retatrutide for the past week and a half, and I've had a ton of people ask me about it, so I wanted to give you guys a little insight into how it's working, if it's helping with prep, and what kind of side effects that I personally felt. Now, this video is my honest experience, so I'm not going to hype it up. I'm not going to sell it as this magic fix-all. I'm just going to tell you what's been happening for me in real time. If you haven't heard of it, Retatrutide is one of the newest GLP-1 GIP glucagon receptor agonists. It's similar to semaglutide and tirzepatide, but it acts on 3 different hormone pathways. I started using it 17 days out, mainly for one reason. Body weight wasn't where I wanted to be. I was using it as a pure cutting tool. I started using it 17 days out, mainly for one reason: appetite suppression. This isn't something I would use for a lifestyle cut. Let me say that perfectly clear. I'm deep into prep, right? I'm deep into a contest prep, low on food, and I need every edge I can to stay locked in. Dosing. I started with 1 milligram per week, split into 2 pens. So 1 early in the week, obviously 1 later. I wanted to ease into it to avoid any of the common nausea, you hear about. Just today, we upped it to 2 milligrams per week, so still split between 2 pens. Now that's the dose I'll likely stay on and hold through show day. And spacing it across the week just keeps levels smooth, and you kind of avoid that nasty post-dose appetite crash that you kind of hear about. Effects. Let's talk about what's changed. First, hunger is down. Not completely gone, but it's that clean, it's manageable kind of hunger. No cravings. I'm not trying to I'm not finishing a meal and then thinking of the next meal or what I wish I could snack on this. Nothing like that. Now, my digestion's been solid. I was expecting some bloating or nausea, but honestly, it's been minor. I started eating slower, which probably helped. But other than that, I haven't had any nausea, bloating, GI issues, anything major yet. Energy levels, pretty stable. Being on low carbs, doing a lot of, tons of cardio, still pushing in the gym, getting great pumps. I'm not dragging, like you see some people zombie mode going, gets close to show day. Nothing like that. Now, this has been the biggest surprise for me. I'm 11 days out, and my head is still clear. I'm still able to go in, do my job like normal, work, live, coach clients, train, talk to people like normal. I'm not thinking about food constantly. That's a big thing. Retatrutide almost makes prep feel too easy. It almost feels too easy, which might sound weird, but if some of you have done preps, I'm sure you'll know. Those final weeks are brutal. There's no other way to say it. They get brutal. Now, side effects. First few days on the 1 mg dose, little queasiness, but really nothing major. Nothing serious at all. No vomiting, no GI pain. 2 milligrams now, since we upped it. We're going to be watching much closer. Body reactable to 1. I don't think this is going to be much of a change, much of a big jump per se. But that being said, still want to watch it close. Still want to be as safe as we can with it. Disclaimer. Let's not forget, this is not for beginners. Okay? And it's not for people with lifestyle cuts. It's not for people just wanting to lose 5 pounds to go to the beach. Okay? So, honestly, if you're not using it as a prep tool, you don't need to touch it. You don't need to touch it. Kind of final thoughts here. 11 days out. I feel so much more in control now that I've been taking this than my preps in the past. Weight's locked in. We're sitting deep. We're sitting decent. Conditioning is getting there. We're still getting sharp. We still have peak week to pull, right? And I haven't had a single binging urge since starting this, which was wild to me because I usually want to. When I'm in prep, I want everything. When I'm in off season, I don't care that much. I'll do a follow-up. I'll drop a follow-up post-show to see how we thought it went, how it feels, finishing it up with, not taking it anymore, where that puts us when appetite's back. If it goes away, I know it's a risk, but I will drop that. And if you have any questions about how I'm using it, dosing, timing, kind of how it fits into the full stack, drop them in the comments below. I'll be sure to try to get back to you on those. And make sure you subscribe or follow if you want to see kind of how this finishes out. And I'll post a full recap after show day. We're going to film show day. It'll be very exciting. And we might even do a deep dive into the full prep stack if enough of you ask for it. Other than that, Till we're 11 days out, we just got to keep pushing, and I'll catch you on the next one.